Hey, yo, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here, I want to take a moment and talk a little bit about Sudi Go, and talk about and talk about that sacred space when you genuinely love and you give love and you share love and you treat people with love and compassion. That is from that sacred space. What do we do when we're exposed to people that test that unconditional love space? They test. You actually call them forth to have the experience, to test your trueness, to test your ability to love in an unconditional state. So how do we stay in that unconditional place with love and joy and happiness and sharing and appreciation? How do we maintain that when everything that when we allow ourselves to witness things that are of not love and joy and well-being? Remember, everything that you are dealing with is a projection that is coming from you. It is reflected when you see it on the outside as something that is showing you or telling you something about yourself or who you be. This is how we use situations and conditions to discover what we are and what we are not, what we are being and what we are not being. Are we truly being of love? Are we truly being of goodness, of goodness? There's something that happens when you tap into this space. You tap into the space of unconditional love, when you tap into the space of well-being and sound mind, when you tap into that sacred space, you are guided by grace. You are guided by grace as to what to do, what to say, and how to be. When you are being love, it's not about trying to be anything. It's not about trying to love. It's about being love. Being love. And when you're in that space, you automatically give off a vibe, a healing vibe, a loving vibe. When you remain in the space of that unconditional love, when people are in your presence, they are healed. They are exposed to an energy that is healing, that is soothing, that is uplifting. Sharing love is being love. Being love is sharing love. It is loving unconditionally, because you're not trying to look to see what that person is being or doing. You're just emitting the healing that is needed. That's why when more of us tap into this space, when more of us tap into the space of love, what happens is we're emitting this, and that becomes like the medicine, if you will, to help uplift others. To help uplift others. You're not even trying to help anyone. You're just being. And in your beingness, it's a healing to others. In the beingness of love, remember, in the beingness of love is a healing to others. So I speak about this. I'm saying this because there are no coincidences. There's a time and season for everything. And what we must do in this time and this season is to find a way to be in a state of unconditional love. It doesn't mean that you expose yourself or put yourself in situations to be used. Or abused. It means that you are invoking and evoking that which is within and without. And you're admitting it, you're sending it out. You're sending it out. And if enough of us are sending out this energy of unconditional love, it is a healing to all. It's a healing. So not all are in tune and connected, but those of us who are in tune or connected might truly know how important it is to maintain the center, peace, the harmony, the well-being, because this is what will emit into this world. It will be like coming in a circle of love, and holding hands energetically, and allowing the vibration of what that unconditional love is to flow throughout. It would allow it to flow throughout and blanket, almost like a healing blanket, a waterfall, if you will, of love vibes that shifts the atmosphere and uplifts the energy in the atmosphere and brings forth a feeling of love and well-being and happiness and joy and all of those kind of things. So consider this. I know I rambled on a little bit, but consider this, the importance of maintaining unconditional love. And like I said, it's not about putting yourself in the way of the crazies. It's just having that energy within that won't allow the crazies to be too crazy in your presence. Because they wouldn't be able to touch this. They can't touch you when you rise up to that place in that sacred space. Remember I told you about energy. So the low vibrational people will miss you because you are so high in nature, in vibration. Yeah. So they can't touch you when you rise high and you're emitting unconditional love. It can. Some people might say, well, they managed to get to these other folks that were vibing very high. But I would say those other folks were ready. They were ready to move on. They were ready to move on. So that's it. Choice here, thank you so much. Move, Sudi. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Hey girl, how you doing? Okay, that's it. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Namaste. Namaste.